We now discuss conjugate elements and classes in a group. So consider a relation such as A inverse BA equal to Z. Okay. So A, B and C, these are elements of a group. And such a relation exists between two elements B and C. Okay, A inverse BA equal to C. Or A, B and C are elements of the group. So when such a relation exists between the elements of a group, we say B and C are conjugate elements, or B and C are conjugate to each other. Okay. Now this operation is said to be similarity transformation of B by A. Okay, A inverse BA equal to C, that is called the similarity transformation of B by A. Okay, now from this relation A inverse BA equal to C, if I pre-multiply this relation with A and post-multiply by A inverse, okay, so that is being done here. I have pre-multiplied it by A and post-multiplied it by A inverse. We know A inverse is the identity element, and here also you will get an identity element, and as they combine you will get B here on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we now have ACA inverse. So B is now ACA inverse. Okay, so from this relation A inverse BA equal to C, I can write, or I can get B equal to ACA inverse. Okay, and we say B and C are conjugate elements, or conjugate to each other. Now in the group that we saw, the group of symmetry of a square, which is called C4V, we can find many such relationship among the elements of the group. Okay, for example, C4 inverse MX C4, that is equal to MY. That means MX and MY are conjugate elements. We have the similarity transformation of MX by C4, and we are getting My, that means Mx and My are conjugate elements. Okay, now we can show that if B is conjugate to C, okay, B is conjugate to C and B is also conjugate to D, okay, then C and D are conjugate elements, or B, C and D are conjugate to each other. So B is conjugate to C. So that is written in the equation 1, x inverse Ex equal to B. And we say B is also conjugate to D. So y inverse dy, that is equal to B. That is equation 2. So equation 1 says B is conjugate to C. Equation 2 says B is conjugate to D. Okay, now from the equation 2, I can write D as equal to YB, Y inverse. That is equation 3. How? As we did earlier, we pre-multiply the equation by Y and post-multiply it with the Y inverse. So D is equal to YB, Y inverse. Okay, so that is equation 3. Now from 2 in 2 we substitute for B from 1. Okay, so D is equal to, for B, actually what we are doing is from 3, from equation 3, not from 2, from equation 3, we know D is equal to YB, Y inverse. Okay, that we obtained from 2. Now what we do is, for B, I am giving x inverse Cx. I get it from 1. Okay, that is substituted here. So D is equal to y x inverse C x y inverse. Okay, for B I have substituted from 1. And this y x inverse can be written as x y inverse inverse. Okay, when you take AB inverse, you will get B inverse A inverse. Okay, so xy inverse inverse, that is y inverse inverse, that is y x inverse. Okay, so this shows clearly, this shows D and C are conjugate to each other, because xy inverse is some element in the group, maybe set. Okay, xy inverse is, say, some set. So you are getting D equal to set inverse C set. That means D and C are conjugate to each other. Okay, so xy, that is belonging to G, therefore xy inverse also belongs to G, maybe some element set. Okay, so the result that we are getting is, if B is conjugate to C and B is also conjugate to D, then C and D are conjugate elements, or B, C and D are all conjugate to each other. Okay, so it immediately follows that if we have a group with us, we can split that group into sets. Okay, sets such that all elements of the group, all elements of a set are conjugate to each other. Okay, so we can form sets in a group such that all the elements of a set are conjugate to each other, but no two elements belonging to two different sets are conjugate to each other. Okay, so we have a group with us, and what we try to do is we try to find conjugate elements. How do you find conjugate elements? We have this equation, A inverse BA equal to C, then B and C are conjugate to each other, or conjugate elements. That way we try to find conjugate elements of an element, and then we form sets such that elements in a set are conjugate to each other, but no two elements belonging to two different sets are conjugate to each other. Okay, so such set of elements are called conjugacy classes, or simply classes of a group. So you take a group, you try to find the conjugate elements and form sets such that elements in a set are conjugate to each other, but no two elements belonging to two different sets are conjugate. So such sets are called conjugacy classes, or simply the classes of a group. Okay, now the identity element, it always constitutes a class by itself. So when you write a class of a group, the identity element by itself forms a class consisting of only one element. Because for any element A of the group, okay, A inverse EA is equal to E. A inverse identity element EA, that is equal to E. Because EA is A inverse A is E. Okay, so a conjugate element is conjugate to itself, only itself. Okay, for any element of the group. So an identity element always constitutes a class by itself in any group. So we are now writing the classes of C4V group. First class, the identity element. Any group, you can safely write one class E. Okay, the identity element. Then C4 cube here forms a class. That means C4 and C4 cube are conjugate to each other. And C4 square itself forms a class because it is conjugate to itself. Then Mx, My forms a class. Sigma U, Sigma V forms a class. So these are the classes of C4B group. Okay, now let's multiply two classes. We now define the product of two classes as follows. Suppose we have two classes Ci, one class A1, A2, Am, another class Cj, which is B1, B2, Bn. So these are the two classes. They may be same or distinct. Same. The two classes can be same classes or distinct classes of a group containing m and n elements respectively. Okay, the first class contains m elements, second one contains n elements. Now we define their product as a set. We define their product as a set containing all the elements obtained by taking the products of each element of Ci. We take each element of Ci. A1 is taken, A2 is taken, then Am is taken. And then we take the product with every element of Cj. So A1, B1, A1, B2, A1, B3 like that, A1, Bn. Okay. Now we keep each element as many times as it occurs in the product. Okay, we keep each element as many times as it occurs in the product. Thus, how do we get Ci, Cj? C, A1, B1, A1, B2. Okay, then we have to take A2, B1, A2, B2. Then we have a general element Al, Bk. The last element will be Am, Bn. Okay, Am, Bn. Now we can easily show that the set Ci, Cj, the product that we get, okay, when we multiply one class with same or another class, we get many elements. We can show that the set Ci, Cj, the product that we are getting, consists of complete classes. They actually consist of classes. Okay, to prove a set of elements is a class, it's enough to show that if you take an element and take its similarity transformation, okay, with some element, you get an element in the same set. Okay, or it's enough to show that if an element Al, Bk belongs to the set Ci, Cj, then any element conjugate to Al, Bk, okay, also belongs to the set. That's enough to show that the product Ci, Cj consists of classes, complete classes. Now consider an element conjugate to Al, Bk with respect to some element x of the group G. Okay, consider an element conjugate. How do you find conjugate element of Al, Bk? You take the similarity transformation. So x inverse Al, Bkx, that will give you the conjugate element of Al, Bk. Okay, so x inverse Al, Bkx, that is equal to, now what I do is, in between Al, Bk, I can assume that there is an identity element E. There is an identity element E because that is not going to make any difference. So in between Al and Bk, I have the identity element which can be written as x inverse. So we will get this as x inverse Al x, x inverse Bk x, and this is x inverse Al x is here, the conjugate element corresponding to Al, and x inverse Bkx is Bs, the conjugate element corresponding to Bk. Okay, now by the definition of a class, Ar belongs to Ci. Okay, we were multiplying Ci with the Cj. So Ci actually consists of, Ci is a class. So all elements are conjugate to each other. All elements in Ci are conjugate to each other. Cj is a class, so all elements in it are conjugate to each other. So if I take Ar, which is conjugate element of Al, okay, that should be present in the class Ci, and Bk, Bs is the conjugate element of Bk, and that should be present in the class Cj. So by definition of a class, AR belongs to Ci and BS belongs to Cj. Hence ARBS belongs to the set Ci, Cj. So the ARBS belongs to the set Ci, Cj because we are taking every element of Ci with each element of Ci with every element of Cj. So ARBS will be present in Ci, Cj. So that means the product of two classes actually consists of complete classes because all elements in the product are conjugate to each other. All elements, if an element is present in the product, its conjugate is also present in the product. So we can express the product of two classes of a group as a sum of complete classes of the group. Okay, so Ci, Cj is equal to summation over k, Aij, k, Ck. So Aij k is an integer. That gives you the number of times the class Ck is contained in the product Ci, Cj. Okay, so Aijk, that's a coefficient that is a non-negative integer that gives the number of times the class Ck is contained in the product Ci, Cj. And the sum is over all the classes of the group. So if a class is not present in the product, Aijk corresponding to that class will be 0. Okay.